What's up, everybody? It's been a hot minute, so as always, we're gonna jump right back into it. Working with some fun stuff with Webb's Grain Works, which is a local brewery slash distiller, and we're working on a couple projects with them. And we're gonna do a project tonight where we're actually gonna take some Moscow Mule cups, and we're going to laser engrave Moscow Mule cups for an event that they have going on out on Catalina Island this weekend. So it's kind of like a quick time press, but nothing that can't be achieved here in the garage for a Thursday evening rolling into Friday morning. So yeah, we're gonna run it on the X Tool F1 over here. I'm gonna hook up the rotary tool, get everything established, figure out whether we're gonna use the chuck add-on or the rollers, but it's probably gonna be the chuck just to like hold things stable, and then kind of go from there. Um, I didn't do as I need to, as always, because I don't typically do things. Oh, look, there it is. That's me from a previous show. Is pull up our chat because I'm still terrible at that, which is great. I love it. Don't get me wrong. I can always be better, and I strive to be better. Pop the chat out into its own new window. And we're going to go from here. Okay, so we got the chat open. We got our cameras on. We are rolling. We'll get right after. So the X-Tool F1 is a dual laser. It's running the 2-watt 1064 IR laser, and then it's running a 10-watt blue light diode. And super fast, just because it's running a galvanometer-based laser system. And it's probably the laser that I have in my personal arsenal that gets the most use. But it's really a fantastic system. And I'm not going to go into the weeds on it because that's not what I'm here to do tonight. I've got projects that I have got to get turned. And so that's my focus of effort, is just turning product tonight. So we're going to get after unboxing some of these things. We're going to get the rotary tool established and figure out exactly how we need to have it set up. So what we're going to be doing is we have these Moscow Mule mugs with this hammered effect. And so we're going to be laser engraving some stuff for Webb's Distillery into the sides of them in preparation for their event this weekend. So, and it's funny because there's a label on here inside the box that says, "Wait, do not return this product to the store." It's like, dude, we're going to be laser engraving these things. There's no way that we can take a personalized product and return it back to the store. So I'm not too worried about that whatsoever. And I just pulled the power cable out of the X, or the F1, excuse me. Rookie move right there. That's okay. I'll fire it right back up. So we're going to grab all the stuff that we have for our rotary attachment. So the rotary attachment we're using is the RA2 from X-Tool. And so the RA2 is a great little attachment. It just takes a specific cable that's for the F1 versus what I used to run it on, which is my D1 Pro by X-Tool. So the cable is different, but it works just the same between the two different versions as long as you have that specific cable. And the cable is only a couple bucks. I forget the exact cost. I'm not going to link it in the chat or anything because that's not what I'm here to do. I'm not going to hook up any of the other accessories like the paddle. We're just going to pull out the rotary tool accessory box and get it set up and ready to go into testing and then direct into engraving for batch runs. So my thought on this one, because it's a kind of a unique project, is going to be going through and looking at it from using the rotary chuck add-on. And the reason why I'm using the rotary chuck add-on is it's going to be able to grip the unique shape of the mug itself. So let me do a quick change to the camera to a preset, and then we're going to zoom in. And the reason why I say that is if we have our standard rotary tool and the bulbous nature of the Moscow Mule mug, it's just kind of round and it just will want to roll. Whereas if we take the rotary chuck and we set it so it goes inside the center and then expands out and grips it, it's going to rotate it on axis without having any oscillation to it. And so that's what we're looking to get set up today, is the rotary chuck add-on. Pull out our cable. We're going to turn this off real quick. Go to our accessory panel in the back for our rotary tool. Now we're going to get the chuck attachment established. Grab our 2 long screws. Let's see, grab my toolkit. Actually, these should. All right. And so basically I'm going to take the rotary chuck and I'm going to mount it down to the actual base plate of the unit. It's just two, what is it? 2.5s. I forget the actual length of them. This is not really important, but you grab the belt, attach the belt onto the back where the drive motors seem to be at. And then we're going to put the belt over, and just like you would, like if you were a 1980s kid and then like had your bike, yeah, we're gonna like slam it on there so the bike, it's like for the the chain for a bike to get it back on the spokes. Not the spokes, but like the gearing. So you can keep pedaling along your way. So now we're going to grab our other attachments. And so the way that the rotary chuck works is the inner spindle is going to expand out. So we're going to have it set. We're going to put some extensions arms on it so that it will grip the rollers. Yeah, I don't know if I'll have enough room. I mean, we'll take a look at it. I think we should be okay. We'll see. And we'll grab the extensions also just to figure out what's going to work best for mounting. 1, 2, 3. And each one of these is going to go onto the center post here. I even want to like try to take those actual rollers off. I don't know. Well, we'll take a look at it here in a second. Let's see. That's our. Sorry, let's make that down all the way. So that is too tight of tolerance. And so we're going to actually back these off by 1. I might change it over to the smaller ones. I don't know yet. I'll see here in a second. Nice. Probably gonna remove those rollers. Just because I'm running really tight on room and tolerance, so easiest option is going to be to remove them. Out. Pull this one. I'll have to loosen these guys up real quick. Pull this guy off. Rotate that one out. There. Tension that back down so we don't lose it. All right. So pull the rollers off real quick so we can just run the rotary tool attachment. Now we need to figure out exactly how to do it. So we're going to spin these all the way back down and figure out what settings we need to mount this to within reason. So that one back to the first. Really should get a top-down camera set up again. Let's see how the tolerance on this one looks real quick. Looks like I got this set on the second notch. All right. Let's collapse that down. Like, oh, so close. Man, that one is. So these ones will not work in the current construct just because as soon as I have them all pinched together, I still cannot fit them inside the rim of the mug. So we're going to try the other ones real quick. So I'll take these guys, put them back in the box. How we don't lose them. 2, 3, 1, 2. All right. I need to open it up just a little bit. Yeah, there we go. All right, so now that we have that set, now we're going to take, and yeah, that'll be perfect. Now what we're going to do is, once we have that set on the rotary tool, we're going to open those jaws up so they expand out and then grip the mug. And then we're going to check to make sure that it's not going to really oscillate all that much. But we can grab this guy and get it to slide on. If I can get it to slide on to help too far. Watch that in. Pull that back. And so what we're doing is we're checking to make sure that this thing is going to rotate as close to on axis as possible so that the labeling appears completely horizontal. And so what we might want to do is we might want to try to actually work on an external pinch inward versus an internal pinch outward, or expansion outward, I should say. So I'm going to try that because that'll allow us to square this thing up. If we get enough room, which we don't. But we might with this. So let's actually, we're going to try going back to the other one real quick. And so this is all trial and error right now, just for this specific mug type, to see how we can get it to work best. And then we might just need to work on some of the other different mounting holes. All right, so let's go with the long extension ones. I should start on the furthest out two, and then we'll work our way in. So the bigger thing I have right now is just making sure that it's going to stay flush. And so it doesn't oscillate as we're doing the engraving. And I think this one will actually work out the best. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this and it'll fit in there. Now we're going to pinch this down, which should equalize tension across the entire thing. Which wants to push it out. So now we'll grab the back strap. I'll slap the back strap on to keep it pressed against it. And there we go. Might do a little bit of centering, but that's just be taking the back strap, pressing it in, and then locking it down. Now that we have the first one kind of set, we're going to do 2 sets of engravings. First set's going to be on one side, then the other, and then probably the bottom. So it's going to be actually 3 sets of engravings. Yay, chat. Oh, there's the rings for you. I've always been amused by this. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and kind of take our X tool with our rotary engraver, and we're going to position it into our engraving area. And we're going to start to work on the focus for the F1. After we turn it on, that is. Once it's on, I'm going to go ahead and raise this up. And see if we can get this thing into focus. It's going to have to go up quite a bit. And we may have to build a platform for it to go on in order to get it to come into focus. I'll be chopping it out here in just a second. Wow, weird. Looks like we can get it into focus. So far, so good. I'll pick the high point. And it's really hard to see with my head in the way, but hand the camera over. And I'm all over it. And so, yeah, we're literally chopping it out in order to get this thing into focus. So we might need to put a platform underneath it to allow it to raise down, but yeah. All right, so we're gonna have to build a platform. Woo! The only thing that I really have to build a platform with that will fit with this is gonna be like, honestly, is gonna be, oh gosh, filament boxes. So that'll be interesting. Because they're all kind of uniform in height. Yeah. Two should do it. Two, four. All right. This guy. Set this up here. Our makeshift platform. Have our rotary driver. That's how I go to. Set two. Right. So we got our laser engraver. We got our makeshift platform. And take our rotary engraver and we're going to slide it into our makeshift jig. And now we're going to work on focusing the laser. And so what I'll probably end up doing in the future is probably end up just designing a 3D printed jig for this. Because right now I'm going to run into issues with the rotary tool hitting the box. So that's platform. And that's box. Debating on how to accomplish this because I think I have to account also for the orientation of the rotary tool in the build area, but I believe that this is the correct way to do it is across the y-axis. So we need to set a pair of boxes here. And a pair of boxes opposite to allow for the handle to pass through. And so now we have my jankety laser engraving jig made out of print boxes or filament boxes, I should say. And so what we're going to do is we're actually going to rotate this now. So I'll pull the F1 off. It's back towards the camera. It's awesome. I love making this happen. Laser bullet up top. All right. Let's kind of point at it. Kinda. So we got free access. We got clearance. Contact 1. Contact 2. Yeah, we'll give this a shot. All right, so what we're gonna do now is we're going to come up. We're going to reconnect to our X tool F1. And connected. We need to change over, so we're working on the rotary tool. And so device settings, come down, stop and move, log area. That is not it. Info, update, yeah, that's not it either. This the setting for level 3. Settings. This is down here, check the updates, no. It's been a while since I've done this. Oh, process on base plate. No, never mind. So yeah, over here, the process on base plate, we're going to use the rotary with chuck attachment. It's going to set our center line, and then we should be able to grab this and move this down. Good. We got those all removed. That's all fine. That's all good. So it needs to be on the X. That's interesting. Okay, so it needs to be on the accessory port. So we'll get this off, unplug that, plug it into the accessory port. Which does not want to plug into. Interesting. Oh, there we go. Okay. Now we'll replug it back in. All right. And so we're going to do laser chuck, use rotary attachment to smooth the ball. Need to bring this down. Come on. So now we need to pull our images in.